And good Saturday morning, although a wet and damp Saturday morning. Going to get worse. Not too bad right now out there, but watch out for the fog. The fog last night was really thick last night. Not quite as bad, it don't look like this morning.
Just like in the poem, the fog tipped in on tiny cat feet.
Who wrote that?
Carl
you're going to jump with Carl Sandburg. North Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Native, right?
Yeah, spent the last 20 years of his life in Flat Rock.
Flat Rock.
Flat Rock.
Where was he? Was he from?
Chicago originally.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like he was born in North Carolina.
No, but he found this, home up on the hill in the mountains.
Smart man.
20 years. It's called Connemara, and it's now a public, public run facility. You can tour it and so forth.
Only Mike could quote us some poetry, though, right? To get the morning.
There you go.
Rolling. I used to know some Andrew Dice Clay poetry, but we'll.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that on this show, can we?
His were more nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
Than I would say poetry.
He had a good run, didn't he? There for a while.
Yeah, he did. I bet Brett knows who that is, but maybe not for the same reasons. He's been in some movies. I think.
Yeah, well, he was on Entourage for a while toward the end of the show. Yeah,
he was. I wouldn't say he was a great actor or anything like that, but he was a little different, which made him kind of
played his own persona.
He was a throwback to the 50s.
He was sort of that greaser.
Well, on Entourage, he was just
juvenile
himself.
Delinquent.
He wasn't even acting. He just played himself.
No, you're not going to catch him doing Shakespeare. Really.
I would hope not. Oh, man, we've got quite a few things to talk about this morning. Roger already texted me. Roger's a happy camper this morning with the Vols win last night.
I thought about Roger last night. Absolutely.
Yep, that's a good win. I was covering basketball. I didn't get home.
Right.
I was keeping up with the score of all the games that went on yesterday, and kept up with that one last night a little bit. And then I got home. I got to see the last – this tells you what time I got home. I got to see the last 4 minutes. And I can promise you this. When the game ended, I packed up my stuff and bolted out the door. I didn't wait on the trophy presentations or anything since it was not a Lincoln County team winning that boys tournament
What time did that game tip off, the boys game? Boys final.
What would you say, Brett? I was texting you about 9:30.
9:30 probably.
Yeah. About 9:30.
They're all. I knew.
But you know what? It's not that bad if you think about it. That was 1 hour late.
Yeah.
With 8 games in the same gym.
All in the same gym.
Yes, they played every game yesterday in the same gym.
Well, that's not too bad when you consider that.
And they didn't start till yesterday they started at 10. I'm sorry, they started at 10 a.m. yesterday. The other 2 days, I think they didn't start till 1, but they used 2 gyms.
They used 2 gyms at the People's Bank at Westlink, and everything was click right on time.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't understand about the People's Bank tournament, though, Mike.
What's that?
Why do you have another game going on? No, that's a totally different story. You can't play a tournament without 8 teams. You got to get 8 because one team got ripped off, and it was the host. They only got to play 2 games.
I know, that's right.
But you can't where was I going? I already forgot what I was going to say. 2 games going on at the same time while one of them's the championship. You want your biggest crowd in the championship game, don't you? That on the same night you were there covering the championship, wasn't there a game going on in the other gym? Because
consolation game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
crazy. I'm not really for that either. I'm a little surprised by that they were playing while the championship game's going on. And did they not also have? No, they didn't do this. I thought at one time they were going to play maybe somebody's boys and girls might be playing at the same time, but they didn't do that. They alternated.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have. If it was girls in one gym, it was also girls in the other gym. That way you didn't have boys and girls from the same school competing at the same time.
Right.
But, yeah, the 7 teams just really kind of threw it for a loop, too. It messed up the schedule. It's kind of odd.
And what was it? Somebody backed out?
I don't know which team from last year was not there this year. I've not done the research yet just to see who it was. But, yeah,
I thought I read somewhere that somebody had to – and I don't know why they had to. I mean – they couldn't.
Was it like a last-minute thing? Is that what you're saying?
I thought so.
I'm not sure.
Same here. I would like to know if anybody knows right off the top of their head.
Why they only had 7?
Well, I know why they only had 7.
Nobody only did. They did. Yeah.
Somebody dropped
Somebody
out.
dropped out.
Who is what I want to
Yeah.
know. Who is the school that dropped out at the last minute? Because, if it does happen at the last minute, I don't blame the tournament at all.
For some reason, I wanted to say Highland Tech, but
I think you're right. I think
Well,
think I heard that.
I thought I read that
The Highland
somewhere.
Tech girls were in the Bud Black Dennis Tate tournament at Cherry.
Okay.
I don't know where the Highland Tech boys were, if anywhere.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you'd think. Well, maybe they did have to drop out of West Lincoln's or the Lincoln County tournament, and maybe it was because of the boys.
Maybe the boys had COVID. Maybe
Yeah.
the boys had a sickness and weren't able to play, and the girls,
And
since
then
said,
Cherryville had an open spot.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they were definitely.
Kind of odd to have an open spot there at the last minute,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, Highland Tech defeated Cherryville. in the
Highland
girls'
Tech
final.
drop out about 2 weeks before the tournament, so
Okay.
it couldn't have been a sickness. Could not have been a sickness.
And
that
Cherryville,
comes from Lenny.
and the Cherryville tournament was able to pick them up in that 2 weeks.
So they must have been needing somebody.
So they had to drop out because of the boys.
Just
Worked
what-
out a deal.
But we don't know. Yeah,
Worked out a
I don't
deal.
know what the reason was.
Good morning, Butch Parker. It is
All
so good to hear
right.
from you.
So
good to hear
good.
from you this morning. Texting me saying, entertain me.
Good morning, Vietnam. No, good morning, Butch. Good to hear from you.
The only
buddy.
problem I've got is he said entertain me and end it with a question.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's
I
good,
can do some
good
more
to hear
Car-
from you this morning.
Butch, I can do
Butch.
some more Carl Sandburg poetry if you like.
Butch
doesn't matter.
recovering from the cardiac arrest a couple weeks back, and in rehab now, right, Butch? In rehab now,
Yep.
up in Hickory.
Up in
I
Hickory.
think Hickory.
What's the name of the facility? Green something?
I think it's the Greens.
The Greens.
The Greens.
The Greens.
At first, I thought that meant he was playing golf, but a little early for that.
Yeah,
I guess.
just a bit.
Yeah,
but,
a little early. And I'm not talking about the dark weather outside this morning either. Just a little early to. He'll get there. He'll get there. He'll get back out there on the course.
Oh,
in a-
good morning
in a
also from
matter of
Stephen
time.
Lowe on Facebook.
Good.
Wayne Navy chipping
Good.
in.
Glad to have those guys with us as well. And talking a little bit about the high school basketball tournaments, and we're going to get into those later. Maybe give a rundown, of everything. Mike, the People's Bank tournament that you covered for me had 2 Gaston County champions this year: Stuart Kramer girls and East Gaston boys.
Both look good.
Where I was, I went last night, covered the East Lincoln Winter Jam. You know that thing's been going on 30-some years now, 30-some years in a row.
I know.
Well, I say in a row. I don't know if they had to miss. I'm guessing they had to miss the COVID. It's just kind of blank. I'm draw a blank when I think about what happened during the COVID season. But
They probably had to skip that year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, 30-some consecutive seasons of having that tournament. East Lincoln girls remained undefeated, beat a very good Mallard Creek team last night by about 10, wasn't it, Brett? I don't have the score right in front of me. But
So they're following up. Last year they were what? They didn't lose until the playoffs?
They had one loss.
Had one loss.
Yeah, they didn't win their well, obviously. I guess they had the tournament last year, but they didn't win it because the coach said this was the first time they had won the tournament since the 90s. The first time
they didn't.
girls.
They didn't win the holiday.
Right.
They didn't win the
I guess that
Winter
was their
Jam.
first loss.
Yeah.
And
They
they
entered the
did lose
playoffs
early in the playoffs,
with one loss.
I think they lost in the second round of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. But that's
it
all.
was that Northwest Cabarrus team, wasn't it?
Was
That beat
it?
them. That I saw them later on in the playoffs last year.
East Lincoln boys weren't so fortunate last night. They ran into a buzzsaw in the championship against East Mac. East Mac's just loaded with talent. Maybe multiple Division I players on the East Mac team.
Wow.
Yep. One kid, I don't know the names right off the top of my head. I can tell you he was number 5. Has five or six Division I offers already, and they were just a machine last night. East Lincoln led after one quarter, but midway to late in the second quarter, an 18-0 run by East Mac, pretty much just. And one kid hit 3 threes off the wing in a matter of 2 minutes, and that was They were huge.
Well, in the People's Bank tournament, the MVP in the girls bracket was a freshman for Stuart Kramer guard.
Is that right?
Oshanda Holland. You may be hearing from her. She is phenomenal.
I'm
Handles the
surprised at
ball.
how many freshmen are making an impact.
Yeah,
this
she's
year.
like leading the way,
In
not
girls
just making
basketball.
it. Had 20 points.
East Lincoln starts two
Yeah.
freshmen. The East
Well,
Lincoln girls,
and
and
don't
they're
you think
undefeated.
it's because of the travel ball and they're playing all
Well,
year round and they're ready to roll?
I can't say it's not. You know, something is developing the players
Yeah.
pretty well along the way. No
Yeah.
doubt about
Two
that.
freshmen starting.
Last year, East Lincoln's girls lost to Cox Mill in their tournament championship.
Lost to Cox Mill. And then you said Northwest Cabarrus was the playoff
third round
loss.
of the playoffs.
Third round.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was second round, but it was third.
Well, I was under the impression that the East girls
It was
lost.
North Davidson, not Northwest Cabarrus.
Oh well,
North
I can
Davidson.
understand when it's North Davidson.
Yeah, same
Those
colors.
Davidson girls teams are
Mhm.
always hard to.
And I saw them play Inca's girls
Hard out.
in the regional final.
The Sugar Jets. You had to bring up the Sugar Jets.
Love that name, the Sugar Jets.
Looks here like LeBron turned 47 yesterday. Oh no, that's 47 points on his birthday. I just glanced at that, and it looked like birthday 47. Will he be playing at 47? How old is he?
38.
Turned 38.
Turned 38. Yeah.
Amazing LeBron throws 47-point birthday bash. So 47 points on his birthday yesterday. The Lakers beat the Hawks 130 to 121. But, it's not all good news. The Lakers pulled it within 6 games of the 500 mark on the season. What's the deal with the Lakers, Brett? Why no better than 15-21 here at this point of the season? Is it?
Well, some of it's injuries.
Is the competition that good? Is what I want to know.
The West is really
stacked?
really deep. Yeah, and they're just. I mean, they're old. They're an old
Yeah.
team. They don't shoot well, and they have pieces that don't really.
I could go then. Let me go play. An old team that don't shoot well. Oh man.
Yeah, they're just. I don't know. It's just not a good roster.
I fit the qualifications. Mike does too. We'll just go out there and play for him. And Brett at this point might even fit. He shoot better than I can. Today he couldn't though. Growing up, you can just ask him. But
Well, I can outshoot Russell Westbrook.
yeah, that'll wouldn't that. I can compete. I bet you I can outshoot. What's the guy's name that can't shoot free throws? Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
I could probably outshoot him from the free throw line.
Well, he can shoot field goals.
And I haven't even touched a basketball in at least 5 years. So no, he can't. Well, he's better. Probably got a better field goal percentage than he does free throw because he can at least hit a layup, right, Brett? Would you
Worst
say?
in history in free throw shooting in the NBA. Who would that be? You think? Of the stars, I'm not.
Yeah,
talking
well,
about
for the
big
amount of
players.
free throws taken, it may be him.
Maybe him.
It may be.
I'm old enough to remember the way Wilt shot free throws, underhanded. Wilt Chamberlain, Wilt the Stilt. Didn't he? I think he did, underhanded.
He shot underhand. Rick Barry shot underhand.
Rick Barry did. That's right.
I didn't know Wilt
I
shot
think
underhand.
Wilt shot.
yeah, I didn't know that either. I know Shaq shot a really
If I'm
poor
wrong, I'm sure I'll
free
work
throw
on that.
percentage.
Shaq tried everything,
Yeah.
and it still is. So big night for LeBron. Big night for the Lakers. They win over the Hawks.
Did you know I was
that
looking-
at home?
No, it was in Atlanta.
Okay.
I was looking at Inca's Inca girls basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Entering the playoffs last year, they were 10 and 15, and they won 5 straight to reach the state championship.
10 and
then,
15 and made the state championship.
and then they lost. So
Yeah.
they finished 15 and 16.
Yeah.
This year they're 0 and 13.
Wow.
So they must have been senior heavy.
What's the record now?
0 and 13.
Well, you better watch out for them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've been outscored by 500 points.
Kind of reminds
Almost 500
God
points.
knows. In how many games?
13.
me. Is that
I can't even do the math. I'm just trying to think of what
I
average.
mean, it's what, 45 a game?
state runner-up?
Surely not. I guess it is. They've been outscored by almost 45 a game.
Or no, let's see. Well, they've been outscored by 440.
Gosh.
Good grief.
So
State runner-up to
34 points a game.
I would say most. Yeah, that's got to lead the state.
Somebody may know
want.
this, but there was a Bandy's team. I don't know when it was the 70s, 80s. They had a losing record going into the playoffs and got all the way to got all the way to the state championship.
It happens sometimes. North Gaston played in the state championship, and if they didn't have a losing record in early 90s, maybe 92 or 91, if they didn't have a losing record, they were close to it. Yeah. And they got hot at the right time.
Yeah, it can be done.
Hal White.
Hal White. Every now and then it can happen.
Ned Yates says, credit to Mike Powell for still working on his shot, though, even at an outdoor park. So
yeah, every day, baby.
Ned sees you working on your
Aaron
jump
Moss
shot.
Park, he works for the city, and I see him occasionally.
Yep, I know. BD
told
me that he sees.
By the
you
way, Ned,
basketball.
where are my new backboards? I heard that we were going to get new backboards out of Aaron Moss, but I haven't seen
Might have
them.
talked to Bobby Dale about that.
But that's what Bobby Dale said. He promised me or the park new backboard.
Wow. Lenny says we're going to go back to the let's see. Butch, the answer to that is yes. He may call us, Brett. He may give us a call here. I'm gonna have to send him the number though. That's maybe the hard part because Lanny's not here. Let me figure out what our number is again. For some reason, I can never.
Lanny's out doing newspaper stuff.
Or if Butch, if you remember it, go ahead. If you don't, we'll find it here in a few minutes. I think a few minutes. I think, and I'll text it to you. But okay. I was just trying to think though of where were we? We were talking about the park and Mike Powell's jump shot and things like that.
Left-handed shooter.
Still working on his shot. Well, I got two left-handed shooters in here then. And I'm not one of them, so that ought to give you the heads up. Ned says, I'm only a laborer. Please direct questions to the director.
Yeah, Bobby.
I like it.
Reynolds. BD.
Back to the People's Bank holiday clash. Lenny says he thinks a team called Tuesday morning wanted to possibly enter, but by then it was too late, 2 to 3 hours before game time.
Wow.
And then it says here, Wilt, I think, did a one-handed arch.
Oh, one-handed. Okay.
Yeah,
you may be right about that.
He was terrible. If he could have shot free throws, he would have scored 150 points in his 100-point game. So, yeah, you could say that about a lot of guys if they're.
So it was just just a one-handed push.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, thanks for correcting me on that.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Well, think about how a basketball would probably look like a softball in
his
our hand.
Yeah.
Yep. So, a little difference there. Just going through a couple of the headlines here, and Brett has sent me the number here. Here's the hard part. I want to know the answer to this. You guys may know. If not, it's going to take some research for me to look it up. NC State radio broadcaster. This is on ESPN.
I see it.
NC State radio broadcaster suspended indefinitely.
What in the world did he do?
Any ideas? Butch must have found the number before I even got it sent to him. Any ideas on what that could possibly? Do you remember how to put him on, Brett? What? Any idea, Mike? I'll look that up if you don't have it because
I'm trying to look it up.
Very interested. Very interested to know what happened.
He made a reference to illegal aliens.
Ooh, really?
During the Wolfpack's 16-2 loss to Maryland in the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
So my question is, just right off the bat, will the indefinite turn into termination? First thing I think.
Yeah, here's what he said. He said, he was referring to another bowl game. He said, down among the illegal aliens in El Paso, it's UCLA 14 and Pittsburgh 6.
Now, what made him make that reference?
Idea.
Down among the illegal aliens
and not only that,
it's
Gary Hahn, who's been the
forever.
NC State announcer for it. Well, in the 80s, he did the Cardiac Packs run to the national championship.
What a way to go out.
Oh, that's sad for him. I mean, certainly inappropriate. Yeah. But doggone it.
He has nobody to blame but himself, Mike, if he loses his job.
He's been the voice of NC State football and men's basketball since 1991. I'm sorry, he didn't do the Cardiac Pack, but 30 years.
Yeah.
As their voice.
Wow. All right.
Try him now.
Try it. Brett's going to see if we got Butch hooked up. Good morning, Butch Parker. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, David Cheever, and I heard Mike Powell, too.
Well, good morning, Butch.
Well, it is a good morning, David, and I just wanted to tell you guys that I am a blessed man. I don't know how I lived through what I lived through. I think it was Friday night. I ain't gonna swear to it.
Right.
I've lost all concept.
I think you're right.
Hours. But I just wanted to mention some guys at West Lincoln that saved my life, and by golly, they actually saved my life. There was some people from Maiden there. Of course, Coach Hauser was there. Mr. Aaron, Matt Stover, the soccer coach, and I got to find his name because I'm buying him dinner. Soccer coach at West Lincoln I think he works at the hospital.
Right.
And he hit me with an EpiPen that probably just saved my life.
Butch, I heard there were three. I heard there were 3 medical professionals in the building. It's like you couldn't have picked a better place if this was going to happen.
You know, it's amazing because I decided to go down there on a whim, and I drove down there, and if I'd have had that at home, I'd have just died in my sleep, I reckon, and all that. But I'm such a blessed person, and to have lived through this and that type thing, and again, I'm not hunting them all down, and I'm taking them out to dinner, and we're going to celebrate me living, and
we're celebrating for sure.
But I appreciate y'all letting me call, and I don't know how much I'll be on or not because I don't have a lot of attention span. I know you can't believe that.
I thought that come with being a male.
Yeah, about certain things, right?
About everything.
Anyway, excuse me. I got a call.
All right.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, but I want to talk to them all, tell them to make sure they look me up, and we'll get together. We'll do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
You're a lucky man.
Yes, I am. well blessed.
And we're all lucky to have you.
Well blessed, and I'm lucky to have you guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Butch. Appreciate it, buddy.
Look forward to seeing you back at Brookwood one of these days.
I'll be there.
All right. Beautiful.
All right. Good to hear from Butch. I mean, that's great to hear his voice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about the last 2 weeks, the things that have happened, the things he's been through.
Right.
Didn't know if we'd get to hear him again.
No.
But it is good to hear, and he's very thankful for the things that have happened.
Yeah, think about all the coincidence of events. He just went to West Lincoln on a whim. Probably would have stayed home otherwise.
Could have had it while he was driving.
Could have had
it
while he was driving. Yeah.
But yeah, to be in a place where there were 3 medical professionals, I thought that's you know,
yes.
And it's not like a place with 50,000 people either.
No,
it's a place where you probably had a couple hundred in there.
100 in the gym.
Yeah, and 3 of them were able to save him. That's for sure. We're going to take our first time out. We got to take a time out after that. Glad to have you with us this morning, listening to Sports Talk. We'll be back in just a moment.
untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us here on a Saturday morning, even though the weather's it's good radio, TV weather. There's not much to do outside. Mike, I'm going to let you pronounce the name again. Gary Hahn, I think, this is Lenny saying, Gary Hahn, I think, followed legendary Wolfpack announcer Wally
Osley.
Okay.
Yep. The mayor of Holden Beach.
The mayor of Holden Beach, which is, that's what Mike said. That's what he did in his retirement or when he left.
Yeah.
Is mayor at Holden Beach, which
I remember his the way he called the championship game. When Lorenzo Charles dunked in the missed shot by Derek Wittenberg. He said,
"That's a pass." Ask Derek.
Yeah, ask Derek. The Cinderella fits. NC State has won the national championship. The Cinderella fits.
The Cinderella fits.
The slipper fits.
The slipper.
Yeah, maybe it was the slipper fits.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. I could see that. And they did that the whole tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Did that the whole tournament.
One cardiac win after another.
I would say if you went into that tournament and before they played any games and Houston was playing NC State, they'd be a 20-plus point favorite on the betting line.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, once you got to the finals, I doubt they were that big a favorite,
No.
even though they were a heavy favorite. But since you'd already won 5 games, it gives you a little more clout.
What makes it even more amazing, David, they were 17-10, and they had to win the ACC tournament just to get into field.
Yeah, UConn did something similar.
Yeah, that's right.
About 15 years
They
ago.
won, what, 6 games in the Big East
They had to
tournament?
win 6 to win their tournament, yeah. 6 games to win their tournament.
And then all the way to the national championship.
Yeah. It's all about getting hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Barbara Walters last night. I know this is, I guess, a little bit sports related. I'm sure she did some sports stories in her in her time.
Thousands of people she interviewed in her career. She did.
I think the most surprising thing there was we all were surprised she was 93.
I was thinking 80s, late
because
80s.
it's not been that long since she's been on the tube.
That's right.
I wonder what her last big story was or last thing she did. News-wise or whatever, but
she
TV news pioneer.
Yeah, trailblazer.
Imitated. Anytime you're imitated on Saturday Night Live,
you're iconic.
That's it.
Yeah,
you are a famous person.
She just first female anchor. So many things she did that were trailblazing, like you said.
Yep. I don't know anything really, but I got to think she lived a pretty good life.
Oh yeah,
a pretty wonderful life. I saw all the news things this morning as I was getting ready. They were just flashing things over and over and over, different of her with different people. One of the first ones they showed was her interviewing Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
So,
she interviewed people from
all
over the world.
I saw her with some that most people wouldn't want to sit down and interview, like Fidel Castro and Muammar Gaddafi.
That's right.
People like that. So
yeah, she took on the controversy, controversial figures.
Yep. Let's see, Derwin James, his hit the other night on, I guess what you'd call a defenseless receiver. It might have been late in that game. Derwin James of the Chargers won't draw a ban, won't be banned, won't be. I don't know why would you draw a ban? But. Are they trying to say suspension with a different? Because I already heard earlier the week that he would not be suspended. But I don't know why they would call it a ban.
Yeah, it makes it sound like he could have been kicked out of the league.
Yeah, forever. Vols capped best year since 2001 with the Orange Bowl win. We mentioned that as we came on this morning.
11 wins.
Yep. Even without their starting quarterback, who was in the Heisman race for a while, they still win last night. I don't know that much about the game because I didn't get to see it, but their defense must have played terrific.
Yeah, it was. They dominated.
Well, it looked like Clemson moved the ball pretty well. They couldn't score. They would get stopped.
But don't break.
And they were forced to kick field goals. They even missed a couple field goals, and Tennessee was scoring touchdowns, and because I think Clemson beat them in most categories, the first downs and yardage, and Clemson just couldn't score.
I've seen a lot of teams will let you move the ball in between the 20s, but when you get in that red zone, it's a lot tougher. And I think that sounds like what we're talking about here. Is they stiffened up when they got it down in the red zone.
So Tennessee, lost 2 games in the regular season?
Yeah, they lost to Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah. And it was the South Carolina game in which their quarterback
got hurt.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker from Greensboro. And still, he was a Heisman Trophy candidate. Does anybody know, because I want to know the answer to this, does anybody know, and we talked about this before, maybe we had an answer and I just don't remember, if we've had a North Carolina native win the Heisman?
North Carolina.
Yeah, a high school football player that played his high school ball in North Carolina.
Well, I know
that went on to win the Heisman.
Choo Justice was the runner-up in 48.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that at one time. He was the runner-up.
To Doak Walker.
And this year we had 2 in the running for a while.
Who was the other?
Drake May.
Drake May?
That's right.
I could see Drake May in the running next year, too.
Oh, yeah.
So
he could win it before his career's done.
And he's not going anywhere else to play. I don't know why there's so much attention on him going somewhere else to
what
play.
Are these,
too much homegrown.
$5 million offers and NIL to move, to transfer? Ooh.
I heard an interview the other day that said likely getting about $2 million from Carolina.
Yeah.
To stay there and not move on. And I don't even know if they would have had to give him anything in NIL money since his background, his family history and all that, and everybody's, but
I doubt
but probably the money is appreciation of you staying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got no problem
No, I
with
doubt if his dad, Mark May, would have loved the idea of him taking his talents elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay, he's not guaranteed winning a national championship no matter where he goes, right? He's not guaranteed winning one.
No.
But if you knew you were going to win one, would you go? No matter
How
what
can you possibly know? But in other words, if Ohio State's job, QB job,
that's the one that was always mentioned.
Yeah.
Was Ohio State?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you remember he had committed to Alabama.
Yeah. So I guess he
when
wasn't.
He was in high school.
wasn't 100% Carolina then if he first committed to Alabama, but.
Well, just like Sam Howell.
Sometimes I wonder, though, Mike and Brett, if these guys don't go, I'm going to commit to Alabama just to show you that I could go there.
Yeah. Holding that as kind of a
I promise you, verbal
there.
Commitments are about as useless as I don't know what. But I was talking about those last night with Jimmy Cherry. I said, verbal commitments don't even get mentioned on air or in print anymore because they are so useless.
You see them on Twitter, but that's the only place they have any play.
When you see it, you might want to take a picture of it and save it so you can show it to somebody later on because most likely they're not going to stick, especially with the superstar guys that keep. And look now, we even get, I don't even think there should be verbal commitments. If you don't sign on signing day, just be quiet.
I agree. Yeah,
just be quiet.
It's it's noise is what it is.
Because at least if you sign on signing day, do you still have to sit out a year? Because with the portal, do you still have to sit out a year?
I think all rules are off. I mean,
if that's the case, then why even have a signing day?
Why even have a signing day?
It's
the Pandora's box has been opened. We know that.
Is it going to get out of hand, or is it already out of hand?
I think it started being out of hand from the very beginning.
I think it's out of hand.
Yeah.
And soon to be totally out of control.
And how do you distinguish NIL?
They got to put a limit on. They have to put a limit somewhere.
Just pay
on how many you can transfer or how many you can have on. Does the NCAA even have a roster number that you can? I know 85. Scholarships. That's scholarships.
Yeah. Okay.
But what are you going to do? You're going to kick somebody off the team because so and so wants to come play for you? How do you do that? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I just think college athletics, the rich are going to get richer. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I read something the other day. I mean, with everything that's going on, it's just going to be better even for Ohio State and Alabama, all the blue blood programs.
The rich getting richer.
Yeah.
We finally got to a point where we're going to expand the playoffs to 12, which I thought would level the playing field tremendously because now you can go to a second-tier program that might still get in the playoffs,
Yeah.
But now all this just makes me think that the guys at the top every year are just going to load up. And if they don't get the recruits they want, you want to come play for me?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and what it's really going to mean, they're
Hand
going
pick
to those Blue Blood programs are going to have all the depth.
Mm-hmm.
And you start talking about how many games would you have to win the national title in the playoff? 3?
Will they have all the depth? Who wants to be depth when you can go play for somebody else?
Yeah, but I mean
next week.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't want to be a backup.
Right, that's true.
Just wonder how that's going to work.
But this is going to end up being what, close to an NFL season in length, won't it? I mean, 12 games plus conference championship, then you got to win 3 to win the national title when it starts. Is that right?
High school season, college season, pro season, however long they are, don't matter to me.
No.
I enjoy it longer if they play longer. And
well, I know somebody.
Who's it hurting?
Yeah.
Who is it hurting?
We were in a conversation.
If you don't want to be a coach, if you don't like the long seasons, do something else.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're talking about the health of the players, and if you got to play 15 games, and
with money being involved now, you're never seeing less games.
No, you're not.
You're never seeing less games. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's see, Lenny. A couple comments here. They said she was retired 8 years, but still did occasional specials after that. That's mentioning Baba Wawa.
She also started The View, for those of
Did
you
she?
who may be interested.
Mike's a regular.
Yeah, I watch that every morning.
Watching The View.
After coffee. And
he said also, we forgot about this and hadn't even mentioned this one. We've lost a lot of celebrities and athletes and things like that over the holidays or over the month of December. But he said also the loss of legendary soccer star Pele.
That's right.
I don't know much about soccer, but I do remember him bringing his game to the United States in the 70s. And, is he the first person you ever remember being called just by one name?
Yeah.
Whether it be
as an athlete, he is.
athlete or
or
a musician or whatever.
That's true.
It seems like he was the first that just
had the one name.
One name, yeah. Yeah. Who's the most famous person that just went by one name?
Boy. It's got to be almost a musician, right?
Prince came to mind for me.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to be up there.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I can't remember his
And then he later became
name.
a symbol, right? I mean,
It's even better.
Yeah.
He just became a symbol.
Yeah, Prince comes to mind.
Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, once I thought of him, Elvis.
Bono.
Bono. I got an Elvis here from Ned. Maybe Elvis before Pele.
Yeah.
Well, Elvis was before Pele, but I still think he went by Elvis Presley because.
Yeah. Well, at least, yeah.
Okay. Here's the
We
way
could
you
say
tell.
it like LeBron. I mean, nobody says LeBron James.
No.
But I do know his last name.
Yeah.
I want ones you don't even know their last name.
Well, how about Shaq? Everybody, I mean, he pretty much.
I know his last name.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know Prince's name at all. I don't, but I doubt he was named Prince.
No, he wasn't
at birth. But do you know his name?
I don't know.
No.
I don't either. That's what I'm looking for. If you don't know their name and they're named by that,
Yeah, but it would have to be. I can think of anybody more prominent than Prince.
Yeah.
For that.
I mean, I'm sure there's more out there, but right now it's just escaping my mind. The one name, Shakira. Okay?
Yeah.
It popped in my mind. I don't know her name.
Shakira.
I don't know her name other than that.
Well, how about Rihanna more recently?
Don't know her name.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, that's a great one.
But I do know she's Knowles, though, right?
Yeah.
So I
she
do
was.
know
I
her
guess
name.
she's Carter now.
Carter.
I guess if you can get
I thought
that
her last name was Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, Z.
Jay and Beyonce.
Dale Sr. was known by Earnhardt. Yes, he was, but I still know the name Dale.
Yeah, that's true.
See if we can come up with some that we don't know. Roger says Prince is Prince Rogers Nelson. Oh, I knew he would know it because it's got Rogers in there. But yeah, I've never heard that before.
So is that his name?
I know of.
His first name is
His
Prince?
first name is Prince, it looks like. But I've never heard the Rogers Nelson part. So that's what I'm looking for. Give me some name, like Shakira.
What about the?
I don't know her. I don't know her
The
name.
famous track star. Is it Prefontaine? Is that his name? Y'all don't even know him.
I don't know him.
You got me. You mentioned track.
It's definitely pre-Fontaine for me because
Cross country. I don't even know if that's the right name.
But Pele, no idea what the rest of the name is. None.
I don't either.
Do you guys?
No
I mean, I do not know.
concept.
Do not know if that's a nickname, if that's his last name, if it's his first. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never done the research to find out. Give me some more. Somebody out there can think of somebody that just goes by one name. Okay, Richard, you win. Richard Howell wins.
What's he got?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
He wins.
The ultimate.
The original, too.
The original one-namer.
The original. Moses.
Moses.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of, a number of biblical names.
A lot of biblical names.
Abraham.
All of them.
All of them, yeah.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
But Jesus has to win.
Has to win.
Almost said Bruce. Did y'all notice that? But we know Bruce's last name. There are more musicians though that just go by.
Got to be more.
Yeah, but we're just drawing blanks right now.
There are more.
I mean, that's where I would think it originated more, not in sports.
Meatloaf.
But
that's one word.
I have heard his name before, but I forgot what it was. Do you guys?
I can't think.
I can't either. Somebody will know what Meatloaf's name was. It's probably something like Jerry.
Yeah, something common.
Jerry Smith.
Oh, here's a good comment, guys. Getting back to expansion of the playoffs. Mike Bowen. I can see mid-level teams positioning themselves as the place to go to showcase your talent for the power schools. So they just become...
Yeah, right. Minor leagues.
Minor leagues. That's what he says. Almost impossible to keep exceptional talent away from the top-level teams, almost like a minor league system. So that's a good point.
Farm teams helping you get to the...
year or two there, then you transfer to Ohio State.
But won't that, I mean, for lack of a better word, won't that just totally suck for the mid-majors? I mean,
yeah, even though they're getting a chance,
you get some people in there, and then they want to go play for a better program or a upper echelon program with a chance to win a national title. You know.
And speaking of that,
let's go back.
Do you
to
think
3 or
the
4
bowl
years.
system is in big trouble because of the opt-outs?
I think the bowl system's is not in big trouble because of the playoffs.
Yeah,
you're going to have
you're incorporating the bowls into it. Yeah.
Okay, if you have. How many are we going to take in the playoffs? 12. So the first week you're going to have 4 byes. So you're going to have 8 teams playing. So you're going to have 4 games the first week. You're going to have 4 games the second week, then 2, then 1. So that's 11. There's 11 of your bowls right there.
So none of these games are going to be played on a home campus.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not know. I'm guessing that they could choose to play them, but you could. I guess you could play them at home, but if you're smart, would you not want to keep the bowls and do it that way?
Involved.
I mean, how many bowls had to cancel? I don't know how they canceled 3 bowls this year, and they still had a team playing that was 5 and 7. Why didn't they take 2 more?
They did have a 5 and 7.
Yeah, I saw somebody was 5 and 7. Didn't we see that, Brett?
Yeah.
But so why didn't you take some more 5 and 7s if you were going to fill one?
I know. Yeah. There's 3 bowls
because I thought they had 3 6-win teams that didn't get to play or something. Because I don't know. I don't know what the deal was.
Well, you have to have 6 wins at the FBS level, right?
But if you only win 5, you couldn't have.
No.
Maybe all 5 of theirs were. Maybe they reward them because all 5 of their wins were FBS.
The 41 bowls.
41?
Including the semifinal games, which are, they're considered bowl games, I guess.
Yeah.
Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl.
How many bowls have you watched start to finish?
1.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
You watched Notre Dame start to finish yesterday.
Yeah.
I've not watched one start to finish.
I didn't even get to watch all of Oklahoma State's heartbreaking loss to Florida State.
Did you call them Oklahoma State?
I mean, Oklahoma-Florida State, I should say.
Yeah.
But I did watch some of it on tape. But
it was really – now, I watched more of that one than I have any other. And I guess it was the timing and where I was.
Where you were. It's 5:30 in the afternoon.
I watched more of that one than I did any other. And it was a terrific football game.
Oh, it was.
It was a terrific football
Oklahoma
game.
with a patch.
Neither team could stop the other unless they turned it over. And that's basically what happened. That's how Florida State won.
Oklahoma had to fill 4 spots on the starting offensive line due to injury and opt-out. So
Lenny says, Brett, you're thinking of Steve Prefontaine, legendary Oregon University track star. I do remember that. I do remember that name.
He died in a car wreck when he was really young. I mean, still competing in the Olympics.
So is his son named Fontaine and his grandson Post Fontaine? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, Prefontaine.
Then again, when was Fontaine?
See, I never heard Steve. I just always heard him called Prefontaine. But maybe he didn't just go by the one name.
Oh. Rodney Willis is all over it. He sends me 6 new ones. 6.
Wow.
6. One
has he
name.
been Googling?
And, well, I don't know. But I'm going to give you a hint.
What are they? Give me
5 of them are musical.
I knew they'd be music.
And the other one's Sinbad.
Sinbad, oh, yeah.
Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Sting.
There you go.
Bingo. He's got Sting on here.
Sting, absolutely.
2 of them are females. And one was almost a female.
Almost a female. Ooh.
I think so.
Oh, God. Oh.
And one is a crazy son of a gun that I think Brett has seen lately.
Oh.
Flea.
Flea, and of course, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's right.
So those 2 descriptions gave it away, right? A crazy son of a gun that Brett has seen lately. Flea.
Slash.
Well, Slash is not on here, but yeah, Slash is another from Guns N' Roses.
That's right.
Don't know his name.
See, these are all nicknames. If Prince is actually named Prince,
okay,
then that got to be one of the best ones.
Yeah,
if his name is Prince.
Yeah. Well, okay, I think a couple of these that you're leaving out, I think the other 3 may be real names. 2 females and 1 straddle the fence.
Straddle the fence?
I think.
Oh.
Way back.
Way
back.
Little Richard, but that's 2 names.
Now we got Mike trying to guess people that straddled the fence.
Well, he was a Liberace.
Liberace, bingo, Liberace.
Yeah.
Say one of the Cassidys.
Yeah. Oh, wow, one of the Cassidys. One? And the other 2 are females, and they are 80s and
80s?
2000s.
80s,
yep,
2000s.
Both females are 80s and 2000s.
We've already mentioned Beyonce.
Yep, Lenny also sent me Little Richard. So, who'd you say?
Well, we already mentioned Beyonce.
Okay,
yep. 80s.
80s. I do not know, and probably have heard the rest of her name, but I do not know it right off the top of my head. And
Cher.
Well, hey, that's a good one because we hadn't named Cher, but that's not it.
No, that's not it.
I would have put Cher honestly in the 60s and 70s because that's when she became.
She goes all the way from the 60s
to now.
To now.
Yeah, it's an incredible career. An incredible career, no doubt about that.
Yeah, but I think
Lenny guessed it. Lenny guessed the one I'm trying to get you guys to say. Mike, like a virgin. Does that help you?
Madonna.
Madonna.
How could I?
Madonna. Do y'all know the rest of her name?
No,
I don't.
I don't.
And the other one is sang with a group, also did some solo stuff.
Sang with the group, also did some solo stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the...
she 80s or 2000s?
2000. Starts with an F. That ought to help you. First name or
Fantasia.
Only name.
Just
I said stars.
Wasn't
that an American Idol person?
Yeah, American Idol person. Not that famous, obviously. Let me see.
Brett should know. I may have the group wrong. I want to say, if I say the group though, it's automatic if I'm right with the group. Black Eyed Peas.
Fergie.
There you
Fergie.
go.
There you go. Fergie. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas.
Fergie. I don't know her name.
That's
I really
right.
do not. Thank you, Rodney. Lenny. People participating in this. Lenny almost got it. He said fervid. Fervid. Now, that may be the most unique one yet.
That's totally unique.
That's Fergie's new COVID era name.
Yeah.
That's what she went by during the pandemic, right?
Fervid means like feverish or something.
There are more out there, I will just about bet you.
Yeah,
Oh,
Prince's
yeah.
name is Prince
Yeah.
Rogers Nelson.
So you like that one the best, right?
And Madonna is her first
I thought
name.
it was. I thought it was. And I think Fergie's is too. You know?
Yeah, but I don't put her up there in the category
No,
of
no,
Prince
no,
and
no,
Madonna.
No,
No,
I wouldn't either.
No.
Rodney says Cher was born Sherilyn Sarkeesian, so she kin to Steve. That's all I want to know.
Fergie's last
Is
name
she
is
kin to
Ferguson.
Steve?
That's where her name
Okay,
comes from.
okay.
So Madonna, that was part of her real name.
And I don't know what Lenny sent me this time. BOO space DIE. Maybe he wants me to die. He's scaring me. Boo,
DIE.
die.
Who died?
Or maybe he meant to put Booty, but I don't know who Booty may be.
I don't know. There was a Bo Diddley.
There was a Bo
rock
Diddley.
star.
Dion,
Dion.
the singer, not
That's
the
right.
not the football player. We know
Dion
his
and
last
the
name.
Belmonts. Yeah,
Dion. I
that's
don't know
right.
Dion's last name.
I don't. DiMucci, I think it is.
Is it?
Dion
Okay, well, never
DiMucci.
mind. Throw him out. If you know his last name,
But
they don't- they don't
his
count.
trade name was
Do you know
Dion.
Slash's name?
John Parker.
Saul Hudson.
Saul.
Saul.
Better call Saul.
Better call Saul.
I would have. I would have sat here a long time before I guessed Slash's name was Saul. No doubt about that. Lenny's weighing in again here.
And he's only 57. I would have thought he was older than that.
Lenny's one of these. I'm gonna pick on Lenny. He don't read his text before he sends them because his latest one is blonder.
Blonder.
Blondie,
of course.
Blondie.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got famous at.
Well, Deborah Harry, of course, was
Yes,
their
yes,
vocalist.
yes. But she did go by Blondie. And what was the? We do know her name. What was the club? CBGB. Is that the C? Is that where she got her?
CBGB,
her
yeah. A lot of
the
them got
dive
their
bar?
starts there.
They did.
yeah.
They did. Let's see. New Jersey halts Citrus Bowl betting for Breeze violation. Is this Drew Brees doing something?
Well,
To-
how
Did he
can
bet?
see?
I don't know the story behind that. I do not say.
Did he bet? Was he?
Well, he's not because
Is he not allowed?
he's joined the Purdue coaching
Yeah,
staff.
he's on the Purdue
assistant.
staff.
That's right.
Irish top South Carolina in historic Gator Bowl barn burn. Now, Brett tells me the message I got from Brett last night on the Notre Dame South Carolina game, which was very entertaining what I got to see, but I
Yeah.
had to leave in the middle of it.
I saw the closing minutes.
Did you
yeah.
say multiple pick sixes?
Yeah.
Multiple pick sixes
two
and
as
a
matter of fact.
fake field goal for a touchdown for South
fake
Carolina.
punt.
Fake punt? Yeah, it was a punt. And Notre Dame still overcome
Still
that.
overcame two pick
Yeah,
sixes.
and win that game. But I tell you what, I love both of those head coaches.
Yeah, I like them.
I think both those head coaches are going somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
I
they.
think Beamer's really
Yep.
started.
They
to
both
turn it
have
around.
big personalities.
Yep.
They're very emotional.
they're leaders.
Yeah.
You can just tell they're both leaders too. I mean, you can.
Yeah,
tell.
I like Shane Beamer.
Yep.
too.
And Brett, comment on that great play calling on the winning touchdown for Notre Dame.
I
They
didn't
faced
see
a
it.
fourth down.
I didn't see
What was
it.
it, a 4th and 5 or something like that? A little swing pat out of the backfield to the running back. Got the first down, then found the guy all alone
Yeah.
in the end zone for the TD.
Yeah, the the play calling was great at times and
Yeah.
questionable at times.
I
mean,
just remember that one. I just
Yeah.
remember that drive.
well, they had it first and goal, ahead by a touchdown with about 5 or 6 minutes left.
That's when the pick.
And they threw a pick six, 100-yard pick six that tied the game.
That's
when
so
they were,
hard to overcome.
They were on the verge of going up, 2
Yeah.
scores
Yeah.
and putting the game away. But it was a wild game.
Yeah.
Both teams converted fake punts.
Bowls seem to have been a little more fun this year.
They were.
And they're still going on. We got the championship, the playoffs today.
We haven't had a lot of one-sided bowl games.
Well, that's what I mean. That means the committee's doing
Yeah.
a good job because they're supposed to match up what they think will be. Whenever you see the line come out, you don't want it any more than 2. You like
Yeah.
to see lines that are under 3.
Even though we have 7 in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, but you
that's,
can't help that.
You can't help
Yeah,
that.
I mean, they earn their way.
Yeah,
I'll
look at
put
all
it that
all
way.
the close games. Carolina lost 28-27 to
Oregon.
Oregon. That was a close one. There've been some others.
Yeah, and I fell asleep in that game, and when I fell asleep, Carolina was up. I thought by more than a touchdown. Maybe I'm wrong, but I woke up the next morning and saw the sports and saw
How
that.
about the double overtime, Arkansas and Kansas? That was.
Yeah, but Arkansas blew a nice lead, didn't they, in that game? Kansas should have never even been in that position. And to be honest with you, most time when somebody gets in that position and earns their way back, I want to see them win, you know. But, I mean, I got nothing against Arkansas, and I love their coach, Sam
Pittman.
Yeah.
Well, I was just
they were up 38-20 going into the fourth quarter.
18-point lead going to the fourth. You know, if you blow that, and I'm not sure that I shouldn't say it, but it seems like you don't deserve to win. You know, if you.
Well, what about Duke's blowout win over?
I got to give my props to Duke.
They had a great year.
9-4.
They had a great year.
Mike Elko. I mean, let's face it. When he came in, the program was just really at a low ebb, and I don't know what
he could win a national. You know, maybe not the big AP National Coach of the Year, but he could win
a couple of those.
A National Coach of the Year.
It's a remarkable job. I mean,
for the turnaround.
Well, he found a quarterback, this Riley Leonard, and it made a lot of difference.
Let's take a timeout. We do need to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the high school basketball tournaments. We'll also talk about today's playoff games. Are there bowls leading up to today's playoff?
Yeah, there are games.
Yeah, I see Alabama's playing K-State. That ought to be pretty good.
That'll be a pretty
They've
good
never
game.
met, I think I heard.
Yeah,
never
Super
met
Bowl.
before, as long as they've both been
Here's
around.
the thing, motivation for Alabama. We've seen it before with them.
Their two stars that are draft eligible are playing.
They're playing. You're right.
Which is surprising.
Bryce Young and
I think,
Will Anderson.
To me, Mike, is still the premier program in the country.
It is.
And they want to notch a bowl win. They don't like losing.
No.
You know, I just don't think they like losing. I think that's good enough motivation. We've got a chance here to end our season with a win. Move into next year. I mean, they're going to be ranked top 5 next year, right? I mean,
Sure they will.
It's just normal. So I think there's a little motivation there just to end it with a win. We'll take a timeout. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Good morning to everyone out there. Second half of our show this morning, and good morning to those folks that are loyal. Mike will get on Facebook and give a couple good mornings. I'm going to say good morning, Lenny, Rodney, Richard, Roger, Ned. Glad to have you guys with us this morning. Mike Painter, I already talked to him this morning. He's probably out there riding around a little bit in the nasty weather.
Another hello out to David Willis on Facebook.
That's what I want to know. We appreciate the folks that text in, email
make comments,
in, whatever. Yep. Facebook. Mike
Sure.
checks Facebook. I check my text. Brett checks the weather. Brett's on Facebook sometimes too, and we'll get various messages as well. I was just thinking about the playoff games today. What's the time is the first playoff game? 4 o'clock.
Right
here. Number one, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys this: Michigan TCU. Who do you want to win?
TCU.
Michigan TCU game today.
I've always liked Michigan.
Yeah.
Their tradition, best helmets in football, best fight song. Michigan.
Neither.
Yet he's an OU fan. He likes all that
Well, I mean,
stuff.
I like Michigan. But I'm an OU fan,
I know.
but I do like. I've always liked Michigan.
Yeah. So I got one of each there, and then I'm gonna give you mine. And I want. I like TCU. I love their coach.
Oh yeah, Sonny Dykes.
Sonny Dykes,
He's done
and
a heck of a job.
Maybe the best name coach in the history of sports.
You can't beat that, Sonny Dykes.
But I want Michigan to win, and there's two reasons. What do you think number one is? What do you think the biggest reason I want Michigan to win?
Well, I'm trying to think of a motivation. Let me see.
Because if Ohio State should happen to win, I want the toughest opponent that they could get.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, I'd rather see them. I'd rather see the Buckeyes play.
Do I want to see a Michigan-Ohio State national championship?
Well,
it would be okay. I mean, I could handle it one time. You know, it's not Big Ten country.
You saw it
here.
You saw the in conference last year with Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah. But it's not that far-fetched in the SEC. I mean, we're going to see more of that at some point, I would guess, especially with more SEC teams getting into playoffs in the future. But you know, I just don't know if TCU has the ability to beat a Michigan and then also beat Ohio State or Georgia
Yeah.
back to back. So that's one reason I want Michigan to win. Georgia, Ohio State. It's going to be one of those games I just sit back and I'm not, let's see a good game. Let's see both of them wear each other out. That doesn't matter that much to me in that one.
Yeah.
Which team? Yeah, I guess if I want one to win over the other, it'd probably be Georgia. But
Well,
I got nothing wrong with anybody repeating. It's just I like to see difference. You know,
Yeah.
I just want to see.
okay, the last team to repeat was Alabama.
At least we're going to have one team in the title game that hadn't won it in a long time. Michigan hadn't won since when? The 90s? When they split with Nebraska? Was that their last one?
It's
It
been
would have to
and
be.
yeah.
TCU, as far as I know, has never won a national title.
I'll tell you how far it's been for Michigan. It's when they had who's the great defensive back?
Charles Woodson.
Charles
Yeah.
Woodson.
Yeah, that's
With
been a
him.
while.
Yeah.
But at least one of them will be a newcomer. Now, the other two, Ohio State's won one in the last 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, but in
2014.
Georgia has two.
Yeah.
You know,
Ohio State won the first CBF. CF football.
I wouldn't be totally
CFP.
torn up, though, if Georgia won back-to-back. That wouldn't
Yeah.
it wouldn't ruin my day or anything. It would Brett's, I think. But Brett's not a Georgia fan because – why?
I just never have really liked Georgia, but I hate Michigan. So if it's Georgia and Michigan, which it probably will be, then
We have a difference in opinion.
I will
here.
pull for
I love
Georgia.
Jim Harbaugh.
I
I just absolutely
He's so
love
off
Jim
the
Harbaugh.
wall.
And Brett don't like him.
so
Brett don't
unconventional
like.
and all.
No, but I've hated Michigan
But he
for
likes
much
John.
longer than since
Yeah.
Harbaugh was
Okay,
the coach.
okay.
It's
You
just
know-
the Notre Dame-Michigan rivalry
I'll
that
tell
I
you,
grew up
right,
with.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
I'll tell you one thing about Michigan.
It's just like
for
Southern
me.
Cal. I'll never
Yeah.
pull for Southern Cal.
I didn't really like
I won't
Michigan under Lloyd Carr, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But now I totally respect what Lloyd Carr did.
Yeah.
He was go
Pretty
back
good-
and look at his teams and
Pretty
his
good-
record.
Yeah, his record.
Yeah.
Is really, it's really
and
strong.
it takes dipping to new lows
Yeah.
for the Michigan program to realize how good Lloyd Carr
He
was.
good.
He just always was kind of snobby on the sidelines with
Yeah.
reporters
He
and
didn't have
stuff.
the personality.
No, and that's kind of what got me. But
And
Well,
he did win it, and it was him in '97.
It was
Yeah.
him in
Yeah.
'97 with Charles Woodson. Okay.
Bo, how many did Bo win? Bo Schembechler. And did Bo not come from Ohio State and go coach, or is it the other way?
Sure. Where Bo went to college, or where
It
he
seemed
played
like Bo.
college football.
Help me with that, Lenny or Roger. Bo went to. There was a connection there between Bo and Woody Hayes. I'm thinking he worked for Woody Hayes. He might
think
not
he
have went to
did.
college,
I think he
but
did.
it seemed like he worked for Woody Hayes on the
his
staff.
He was at Ohio State from '58 to '62.
Well,
Okay.
There you go.
Then he went to Miami of Ohio as head coach, and then Michigan.
You know, when he went there, he thought he was going to lay on the beach, and then he realized it was.
He did not win a
Miami,
national.
Ohio.
He didn't win a national championship.
He did not win a
No.
national
He never
title
did.
in all those years. He never won.
Well,
a
he
national
had
title.
He was 5-12 in bowl games.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. One of the most famous is Carolina beating them in the. Was that the Gator Bowl in the Fog that year?
Yeah, that's
Carolina
right.
beat Michigan when Carolina was not an upper echelon program, and Michigan was at the time, and they beat them in that bowl game. Lenny says, I think NIL is already out of hand. I have a suggestion to fix it, but would probably be challenged in court. You can use the transfer portal to go somewhere new immediately, but if they go somewhere else and receive NIL money, we revert back to the old rule, must sit out a year before playing, which I could see that too. That would maybe slow down immediate gratification scoundrels like Lincoln Riley. Ooh.
Well, I'm glad he referred to the turncoat in that fact.
So, okay, did Lincoln Riley at Southern Cal, did he get players come in that had just moved to somewhere else? That's what it sounds like Lenny's saying.
Yeah, could be. I don't know that for a fact.
Maybe he got players that had came to Oklahoma to play for him, transferred, and then immediately transferred to Southern Cal.
Or he diverted
stay with him.
recruits he'd already locked up for Oklahoma, and then he started recruiting them for Southern Cal.
Which team not in the playoffs would you most look out for next year? It's only going to be 4 teams again next year.
Yeah, one more year. One more year.
Which
Ooh.
team not? Because Southern Cal came to mind. Got the quarterback back, right? He has to come back. He's not old enough to go. Is that right?
He has to come back.
Brett's favorite player.
Now, the receiver that they stole, I'm just kidding, who transferred from Pittsburgh, I think he's opted. He's going to the pros. Jordan Addison, I believe, right? I'd have to say Southern Cal. I mean, given what Riley has done.
I'm just going to roll with the Tide.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Tide.
I mean, how many times have they gone 2 years in a row without getting in?
Have they ever?
I don't know.
It started
No, I wouldn't think so.
I was just,
yeah, Alabama and Southern Cal come to mind.
Is Texas on their way up? I mean,
8-5.
they lost their bowl game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not getting close to
Okay.
a playoff. I don't
Okay.
think.
Well, they might when it goes to 12 teams.
how
But then
about
again,
how
we
about
can't let
this?
everybody in when it's 12 teams.
Washington won 11
Washington
games.
looks good, man.
And Michael Penix is coming back.
Is he?
Yeah.
And he was at Indiana
He was at
before,
Indiana
right?
before,
Who's
so
the head
that-
coach at Washington now? Because wasn't the last coach the one from Boise State?
Yeah, Chris Peterson.
Yeah. And he didn't
Oh, I
stay
tell
at
you who it
Washington
is.
long.
Guy
Whoever it
was at
is.
Georgia. Dan Manning. or
They seem
something
to
like
be
that.
the most underrated program.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're not on the East Coast. They're all the way out.
Always way out
in,
there.
In the great Northwest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they seemed – I mean, they could give Southern Cal a run for their
Could give
money.
Southern Cal a
you know,
run
in
next
that
year,
conference. And I can't imagine more than one team making it out of that conference. Usually nobody makes it out of that conference.
Kalen DeBoer.
Is the head coach at Washington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah.
Kalen
DeBoer.
DeBoer. French guy, huh?
Yeah.
Who's the Oregon
Came
coach?
from Fresno State.
French no
I'm thinking of the Oregon coach, Dan Manning, or something like that.
Oregon, could they make a run in the future? I mean,
Well,
hey, supposedly they have a really good recruiting class,
Yeah.
one of the top
One of the
recruiting
tops,
classes
yeah.
this year. If they all
Yeah, that's Lanning. Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning. I'm sorry, not Manning.
at
How about
Oregon.
LSU with Brian Kelly? I mean,
I think they will be a force in the future. I'm not sure
I
they're
heard
going to
his
take that
name
step.
mentioned with the Broncos job.
Did you really?
whose name?
Brian Kelly.
Really?
I saw there was somebody else I heard's name mentioned for that as well. Who was it?
Well, Sean Payton's name has been mentioned with every job.
Oh, it was actually Jim Harbaugh.
Well,
You know,
what if he wins a national
very
title?
successful in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I hear that he still, he got there. He got to the promised land, but he didn't, he got to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, but he'd still like to.
once he got there with the land, he didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do with it. But, well, if he wins a national title this year at Michigan, maybe.
One of your regular Facebook listeners, commenters, is not happy that Ohio State is in the playoffs.
Ooh.
Well, I would like to know.
Link Pauly?
That's Ned. Ned's saying that. Maybe it's Ned.
Maybe it's Ned.
I would say more than one of our listeners is not happy. You know, who was the team that Alabama would have been the next one, right? Would have been didn't they finish 5th in that? I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think so.
My personal feeling, it's kind of like people are talking about the Packers right now. Nobody wants to see them in the NFL playoffs because they might not win it, but they could ruin somebody's party. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's the one team nobody wanted to see get in there.
Yeah.
Because tell me,
They got healthy at the end of the season.
Alabama, are you telling me they couldn't beat any of those 4 that are there
Sure they could.
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the one team I think that you could say, yeah, they'd have a chance against anybody they played,
Yep. Yep.
and they are used to being in that spotlight and playing in those games, so I don't think that would have phased them at all.
Well, they lost 2 games right at the end, right? To LSU and to
Both overtime.
both overtime.
They lost 2 overtime games.
Did the Tennessee game go to OT? I don't think it did. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it did.
But of course, you could also say they barely held on to beat Texas.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying they deserve to get in at all.
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
saying. I'm just saying that's a team that I'd say the other 4 are pretty glad didn't get in.
Yeah.
You know,
because they got healthy there at the end of the season.
Yeah, and they just Saban is a really good coach, and you know he's a month to prepare for the semi game. I mean,
yeah,
he's going to be hard to beat.
The fact
if he
that
got
his
in
2
there.
best players didn't opt out, right?
Right.
Bryce Young and Will Anderson. That says something. So Alabama must be motivated. You're right. I mean, I don't think it's a matter. We got to settle for the Sugar Bowl kind of thing. They'll probably play well in that game.
Lenny said, "Ask Pitt coach Pat Narduzzi what he thinks of Lincoln Riley. Stole Jordan Addison, wide receiver, in the middle of the summer last year."
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, stealing is. Roger said, "You're right, Mike." Roger said Tennessee did win that game over Bama in regulation, so it must have just came down to a
field goal.
last second
I thought
play
it was
or something.
regulation.
It maybe just seemed like overtime. Wasn't it real high scoring?
Oh yeah, like 45 to 42 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was one of the classic games that you'll ever see. In that matchup.
I remember seeing the picture of Josh Heupel with a big stogie in his mouth after the game.
All these games run together to me. I can't remember which ones.
Well, how about Tennessee next year? I mean, would they be a player?
Yeah, they'll be good.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what Hendon Hooker's
what's his status
or his future is, but the quarterback that played last night looked pretty good.
He did look. I only got to see the last 4 minutes of the game, and I thought he looked good.
And
in those 4 minutes.
He started games.
Big guy, wasn't he? Big old guy.
Yeah, he is big.
Well, Josh Heupel's a really good offensive.
He was actually at Michigan before Tennessee.
Was he?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ned. I don't know if you want me to repeat that or not, but I won't. He mentions who it was that's very unhappy that Ohio State is in there. Lenny says Alabama lost 2 games on the last play. That's what we remember. They lost 2 games on the last play of the game. So, but if they win one of those, they're definitely in. I'll just put it that way. If they win one of those, they would have definitely been in the playoffs. So, and they had the chance, just like everybody else, to win those. And also, I'd love to see, and somewhere we did see it weeks ago, who would be the 12? Who would be the other 8? If we had that 12-team playoff, because remember Tulane would have got in.
Yeah,
because they were the winner of a conference, and there's going to be 5 or 6 or 8? What is it going to be? Conference champions that get in. What conference will the 12 help the most? The Big 12?
I was thinking the Pac-12.
Both of them been kind of scarce when it comes to the 4-team plaявs. Neither one has had a lot of appearances.
Well, Oklahoma's been
not even
there,
appearances.
Yeah,
of
course, Oklahoma's going to the SEC.
Well, I guess you can't just go with the top 12 teams if Tulane would have got in, because
you can't go with the top 12. And Tulane was the name.
So
that
they would
stood
be.
out
I
to
guess
me
they would be the non-Power 5. Is there an automatic non-Power 5 team that's going to get in?
I don't know. I don't know who else. Well, I saw it somewhere.
They should be.
They're the highest ranked non-Power 5.
Where are they ranked?
16th.
16th.
Now, who are they playing in the bowl?
They already did.
They lost,
didn't they?
No, they haven't played.
Oh, okay.
They play Southern Cal.
Yeah, that's the biggest game in Tulane football history. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, think about it.
And Southern Cal's ranked 10th, so they would have got in. Penn State 11.
What's the biggest thing ever happened in Tulane Stadium? Tom Dempsey kicked a 63-yard field goal for the Saints in an NFL game.
Okay.
That was in Old Tulane Stadium.
Old Tulane
right,
Stadium,
Lenny? Yeah. I don't know if that was the biggest thing ever happened, but that record stood for a long time, if you think about it. I mean, that record stood for a long time in the NFL. So today, just in case you're wondering, and we haven't mentioned the times yet, college football playoffs today, 4 o'clock, TCU taking on Michigan. 8 o'clock, it will be, and that first game's in Glendale, Arizona. So that is the Fiesta Bowl, right?
That's right.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, there it is, Fiesta Bowl, and then in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, the second game of the day. Georgia getting a home game.
Is it
against Ohio State.
We got to admit that's a home game essentially.
Yeah.
For Georgia.
Yeah. why would they not send? Is there a reason they do that?
Well, the Peach Bowl, of course, is
They are the overall number 1 seed, right? Georgia.
right. Yeah, and I get that.
Yeah, but you could have just sent that game out to Arizona,
Sure, you could have.
and you could have played Michigan and TCU with no ties to Georgia or Atlanta. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if it's already preset that the number 1 seed will play in the Peach Bowl before they even.
Oh, no, I think the number 1 seed gets to play closest to home
Closest
as
to
possible.
home.
I think that's
Okay,
part of it.
I got no problem with that.
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Ohio State might, but,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say there'll still be a lot of red in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Just like yesterday, there's a lot of blue and yellow in the UCLA Pitt
Yeah.
game yesterday. And who's this Pitt quarterback coming out of nowhere? To me, he looked really good. Did you guys watch any of that?
I didn't get to watch
and
any
see
of that
him.
one.
You know, I mean, they thought they had lost the world last year when they lost. What's the guy's?
Pittman.
Yeah, whenever he went to the Steelers, who's looks like he's the future quarterback there. But this kid they had quarterbacking in the bowl game looked pretty sharp, I thought.
Nick Patty.
Patty, yep, Patty. Is it Patti?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patty. Let's see. I was just trying to look and see if we had anything else here that. Here's what's funny: you got the playoff games, and then bowls will pick right back up and continue over the next few days. And
there's some big ones on Monday.
I don't even think I gave the early games. There are earlier games today, right? Like
Two noon games.
2 noon games:
Yeah.
Alabama and K-State. And who else am I?
Iowa and
Kentucky.
yeah, Alabama and yeah,
Iowa and Kentucky.
in the Music City Bowl.
That may be a wrestling match.
Yep.
Iowa and Kentucky.
Music City, obviously Nashville.
Or might look
Yeah.
like a rugby.
Over under 31.5.
Is it really?
Kentucky. Yep.
God, how would you go?
It's gonna be
on
low
that?
scoring for sure.
Yeah, but I'd still take over on 31. You know,
Would you?
I would.
No.
May be wrong.
Is
Hey, you know
Brett.
what? If I take over, I've got a chance from beginning to end.
that's true?
If I take under,
You don't have a
as soon
chance.
as they eclipse it, I'm out of it.
Well, Brett, do you know if Kentucky's quarterback, who's allegedly maybe the top draft pick, is he opting out of this game?
I'm not
Will
sure.
Levis, I believe.
Not Tim Couch.
Yeah. Is he the biggest bust in the history of the NFL, Tim Couch?
No.
No. Ryan Leaf.
No,
No. Bigger?
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell out of LSU.
That's mine.
That's
Jamarcus
right.
Russell.
Yeah, he's mine too.
Yep. And Rodney Willis will probably agree with me since he went to the at Raiders. I'm thinking Oakland Raiders at that time. It may have been the L.A. Raiders, but I'm thinking.
Looks like Will Levis is not going to play
I
for
didn't figure
Kentucky.
he would.
Yep. Saturday, December 31st, Iowa, Kentucky, Alabama, and K-State. Iowa, Kentucky, neither team ranked. Alabama, K-State, 2 top 10 teams. 5 Alabama.
That
against
could be an
9
under 20 game.
K-State. Iowa, Kentucky.
Well, you know Iowa's epic struggles on offense.
Anytime I pick under, they would be one of the freakest touchdowns you ever saw to make it go over. And so that's what's, yeah, the offenses may not score that much, but you have to account for special teams and defensive touchdowns. And I could,
Iowa averages 17 a game, and
Oh,
they
that
allow
much? I'm shocked.
14 a game.
wow.
So their average score is 17-14. Kentucky's average score is 22-19.
What is Iowa's record?
They're both 7-5.
They won 7 games this year, averaging 17 points a game. That is, in today's college football world, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Really. I mean,
In their wins, they scored 7, 27, 27, 33, 24, 24, 13.
what's their highest total of the year? What was it?
33.
33? Most college teams averaged 33,
Yeah.
you would think.
That was against Northwestern.
Maybe even some with losing records might have averaged.
And of
First
course,
game of the year, they
33.
beat South Dakota State 7-3.
That's not a bad win, though. Didn't they win the title?
Did they win the
Has it happened?
FCS?
No, they play next Sunday.
Against North Dakota State?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. God, that's a big gap in between.
Next
It
Sunday.
is.
Yeah.
Their semis
Boy, that's
were-
about a 3 or 4 week game.
Yeah, I think it
3
is.
plus.
Yeah. What's 3+?
The weeks
what's the line in that game? Is there one? South Dakota State's got to be favored.
Oh, I don't know if there's a line yet. I don't.
Jackrabbits and the Bison. Is that what they are?
I like that.
Yeah.
Love it. Jackrabbits.
Yeah. And how about?
Well, they should have already played once.
Hasn't North Dakota State won like 10 of the last 12 titles?
Yeah.
Yeah, South Dakota State beat them 23-21 in October.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Wow, man. That when is that game? Got to watch
January 8th.
January 8th. That honestly, that'd be worth watching. That'll be a terrific game between two rivals played in Frisco, Texas. Does it say?
Frisco.
Or is it even somewhere else now? You know, it moved from.
It is in Texas, yeah.
Okay, all right. Frisco's up north in the Dallas area.
Well, you guys know the situation now, don't you? The offensive coordinator there is the son of the head coach, Kirk Ferentz. Is that his name?
Is he?
Yeah. Oh.
Offense coordinator at
Iowa.
Okay, so same team.
Same team, yeah.
I thought you were telling me his son's on the
he's
Kentucky
the son
squad.
of the head
Yeah,
coach.
that's what I thought you were
No.
they were going against each other.
Yeah, he is the son of the head coach at Iowa, and he's the OC there.
Ferentz been there quite a while now.
Oh, yeah, he's been there for...
what was the guy's name before him? That
Hayden Fry.
Coached $1 million in 3 years.
Yeah, good coach.
Or something like that. Just looking at Monday, January 2nd, you got LSU taking on Purdue. Don't know why. Maybe I'm totally wrong. That just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like LSU will win that game handily, but maybe I'm wrong. Purdue's, maybe they signed Drew Brees not to coach but to quarterback in that game.
Well, they did sign him
they did.
to get the QBs ready.
This one don't even look right. Southern Cal against Tulane.
Yeah,
you guys mentioned it already.
Weird.
And then this one, the Rose Bowl, though, is a terrific matchup. Utah and Penn State. I mean, that Utah beat Southern Cal twice this year.
Guys, you did forget about one game, Mississippi State going against the Illini.
Yeah, I did. And, Mike, that's I'm anxious to see
how Mississippi State reacts.
What they do to honor.
They're going to do something.
Coach
yeah,
Leach.
There's going to be a big ceremony.
I saw the other night. It was it Texas Tech? They opened the game in an old one of those weird formations that Mike Leach came up with.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
They opened up in the formation. And they took a delay of game, and then
he coached at Texas.
Yeah,
Tech,
and whoever they were playing declined the penalty. So it was just a tribute to him.
Washington State's another one that probably did something.
Yeah.
If they play again, I don't know. They did play in a bowl.
Well, wasn't it at Texas Tech that he really honed or developed the air raid offense?
Mm-hmm.
He perfected it. Yeah. And he was also at Oklahoma as an assistant for 1 year.
Lenny tells me something I did not know. Hendon Hooker has used up his eligibility at Tennessee, but Joe Milton III has a year of eligibility left. And I'm assuming that's the name of the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're not hurting then.
No,
by no
the
means.
heir apparent.
Yeah, they're not hurting.
I don't think he's the runner that Hooker is, but he is a good passer.
Yep. Final timeout. Got to take one more break here before we head to the fourth quarter. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
We're back. Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. Ugly day outside.
Ugly.
But what a great day for watching college football. Just make it.
Can't beat that.
Yep, starts at noon today. Right, Brett?
Yep.
Two games at noon. And then we get a dose of playoffs. Playoffs. Which should, history tells us that the semis won't be close, though.
Well, at least one of them.
Yeah.
Well, both of them probably.
Which
That's
one
the way it usually is?
Which one's more likely to be a close game? I got to say Georgia, Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State, let's face it, they were a little bit embarrassed.
They were.
But by their last outing.
So they're an angry team.
Yeah.
They're a team that and they got a lot of dudes just like Georgia does. I mean,
they could beat Georgia.
They could beat Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely capable of beating Georgia. Both of these teams, Michigan and Ohio State, are rare because usually the northern teams don't put the athletes, but those are the two programs
that are right now.
that are from the Big Ten, and Penn State's close. They don't quite, I don't think, put the number of athletes out there that those two do, but they're knocking on the door. Both were transfers. Milton is from Michigan and Hooker from Virginia Tech, says Lenny on this latest text. So both those guys came in to play for the Volunteers. Both Hooker and Milton, one from Michigan, one from Virginia Tech. I had forgot that Hendon Hooker went to Virginia Tech.
I didn't know that. Guys, before you get into the playoffs, one game I don't know whether we mentioned, this will be the last time the Rose Bowl is going to be in its traditional 5 p.m., 1 p.m., Pac-12.
Why?
Because of the playoffs coming up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I can accept that reason.
Yep.
We need playoffs.
Yeah. They were holding out. I mean, the Rose Bowl people that was the stumbling block to getting this going.
Right.
For 12 teams and 24.
Was it? That's who did it? Yeah. Well, don't let them have anything then.
Yeah. But anyway, they're now they'll be part of the cycle, the playoff cycle.
Should the Rose Bowl be the site of every national championship game?
I think it should. That's just
I say probably not, because it's not going to be fair to the rest of the bowls.
Right.
But the cycle won't be but about 4 stadiums, will it?
Right.
Rose Bowl,
right.
Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Well, I
Probably
got to guess it'll be
involved.
played in Atlanta at some point.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe even Arizona.
Yeah, Fiesta.
Well,
so maybe that's 6. I just
this
named
this game is going to be played at SoFi, right? So what is it? What's the name of the?
That's in L.A.
LA.
Is that where it's going to be?
Home
What
of the
is
Chargers?
the
and
national
Rams.
championship?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
I didn't
It
know
is.
that.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
that will be the site.
Which Los Angeles, other than the Rose Bowl, if you want to consider it Los Angeles, it's really not. LA's never – have they ever hosted a major bowl in Los Angeles? The Coliseum's never –
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think is if one was moved to the Coliseum because of, I don't know what reason. Like, wasn't the Rose Bowl played around here one time during the war?
During the war.
Yeah, played at Duke.
Yeah.
Because of World War II.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you know that the first Rose Bowl was 1902, I believe?
Mike would know.
Yeah, I was there covering that.
Him and Barbara.
Baba Waba.
Let's see. Some of these games on here for last night, just a couple things we want to mention on the high school basketball scene. Congratulations, East Lincoln Lady Mustangs, winners of their East Lincoln Winter Jam tournament last night with a win over number 4 in the Sweet 16, 4A Mallard Creek. East Lincoln, who was ranked 13th in that Sweet 16, still undefeated, remains perfect on the season with their win last night. I want to say a 10-point win. I don't have the score right in front of me, but it was, something. I tell you what, we were I want to say we got down to 3 minutes and something to go in the first quarter, and it was still 2-2. It was a defensive battle, and I mean that game was so physical between the two girls' teams. Just a physical battle all night long, but East Lincoln finally started making some shots.
Who figures to be the Lady Mustangs' chief
in that conference?
In that conference.
North Iredale used to be good a lot.
Yeah.
In girls basketball. I just have to check that out and see. Brett, see what North Iredale's girls. Can you check their girls record?
Yeah.
On the
I know it won't be Statesville.
No, they're bad in both.
Yeah,
they're not. They're bad in both boys. Yeah.
I saw at one point. I don't know whether
they haven't played many games.
Both teams were winless. Both Statesville teams were winless.
So yeah. Odd and sad.
North Iredale girls are 5-5.
5-5.
Yeah, I'd say Hickory might be.
Well, now Hickory's down.
Way down.
They're way down.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think Newton's beat Hickory a couple times.
Yeah, Hickory's 4-6.
Yeah.
How about Fred T. Ford?
Well, losing to Newton's not bad.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's not.
And they lost to Freedom twice, who's always good.
Yeah. It's played a tough schedule.
Yeah.
So. East Lincoln beat them by 30.
Well, there you go. I don't think they're going to slip up at Hickory. Or was that first one at Hickory? First one is at East.
At East,
First one was at East. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody
Sounds to me
can
like
challenge.
they could run through the way the
St. Stephen's is 8-4.
That's not
Okay.
good, though.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
good. I mean,
It's not going to help you in the playoffs.
You need some challenges along
You
the
do.
way,
Yeah, absolutely.
to make you a better team.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they apparently didn't get them in this tournament, did they?
I think last night
Was pretty good.
was a challenge. I think they played a team physically bigger than them and probably physically stronger than them, but came out on top, in a 10-point win. East Lincoln boys not quite as lucky last night. They ran into a buzzsaw in East Meck. They lost that game 80-60. And East Lincoln led after one quarter, believe it or not. They were up a point after a quarter, but an 18-0 run midway through the second quarter put the distance between them and East Meck.
East Meck must
looks
be
really
very good offensively.
They are very good, Mike, but they're a 4A team that don't have anybody over 6'4".
Wow.
And that could come down. That could hurt you down the road.
Might hurt them. And
because
then
you take a team that's got 2 or 3 6'9" guys, and they walk it down the floor.
Yep.
That's going to make it. That's going to make it tough.
Could be a problem down the road.
Lenny says East Lincoln's girls competition is East Lincoln, and he's seen them in action. So
it looks like
they are very good. Start 2 freshmen on that team.
That's
by the
amazing.
way. Yeah.
In the 3A West, they're ranked 3rd right now. West Rowan is 1. Ben Smith is 2.
And you're saying East girls?
East girls,
third?
ranked 3rd. Now that's just the computerized ranking.
Yeah.
So it's not anybody that's seen the teams.
But honestly, that comes out pretty good. Like I've always said, those Max Prep rankings are a lot better than you think, because when you watch the football playoffs, those seeds that are way up there are the ones it comes down to. So something's working there. It's a whole lot better than that top line, bottom line, play the same team every year.
Now, do they have any starters back from that super team they had last year? I guess they do.
From
East Lincoln girls from last year.
Oh, yeah.
23 and 2.
Yeah, the guy, her name's
Madison Self.
Yes, Madison Self.
Right.
Tournament MVP.
MVP.
Yep. Probably the leader of that squad. But they got several people. They got quite a few that can lead on any given night. I'll put it that way. But Self is probably the one that – last night was a very low-scoring game. She still had 20 in that game. So, yeah.
I saw him play a couple times last year, but I can't think of who she is. But
Brett, what was the game you kept updating me last night? Charlotte Catholic and
Central Cabarrus.
Central Cabarrus. And Catholic was tied with Central Cabarrus, who's just been destroying everybody. At halftime, it was a tie game, but we do know Central Cabarrus wound up winning by 4.
Yeah.
But Catholic ranked very high as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
In 4A.
Yeah.
And Central Cabarrus is a 3A. Am I right?
Yeah.
Community School of Davidson beat Hunter Huss last night 79-55. Huss and Ashbrook program both being down, Mike, just shocks me that both of them are.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Particularly Ashbrook.
South Point supposedly the best boys team in Gaston County from what I'm hearing this year. And
oh yeah, they won that. Did they win that tournament in South Carolina? They were playing.
I don't know.
Who was it?
South Point.
South Point. I think they did.
I didn't even know that's
where
they.
I thought they lost a game.
Yeah,
well, they may have lost one.
I can't answer that because I didn't even know that's where they went to play in their tournament.
Well, I saw a really good team from Gaston County in the People's Bank in East Gaston. They impressed me.
East Gaston's good. Like to see East Gaston and Bessemer play.
Yeah.
And they will, because they're in the same conference, right?
That's right. You will see them twice.
Bessemer City last night 77-49 over North Gaston. So I'm guessing that was a tournament final maybe or consolation.
I don't know.
Consolation.
I think it was consolation.
Okay.
I think Bessemer City had lost.
But Bessemer's pretty good.
Yeah, South Point did win there.
South Point did win?
They had a 1-point win and a 2-point win, and then the championship they won by 25.
Wow.
Here's what Lenny says about East Lincoln girls. They are 10 deep, and you can't tell the first 5 from the second 5. That's a good problem to have.
What kind of depth?
That's a good problem to have. Jason Odie down there at East Lincoln, since he's taken over that girls program,
done a terrific job.
They've been unbelievable. I would like to see what their record is over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It may be the best record of any basketball team
in
the county or in the area as far as just wins and losses, because Last year, we talked about it earlier, it's 20-something and 2.
Was.
You know, they went 20-something and 2.
I'll tell you a guy that impressed me up at People's Bank, McCaskill Rivers, 6'4", forward for East Gaston. He can score with both hands.
Tell me that name again.
McCaskill Rivers.
Love it.
Yep.
I like it.
McCaskill Rivers.
McCaskill.
29 points in the final against North Lincoln, named tournament MVP, of course. 9 of 18 from the floor, 11 of 14 from the foul line. He was really a huge difference in the game.
Is he kin to Doc?
Yeah, could be. And there's another Rivers on the team, too. His name is Velon Rivers, but probably some relation. North Lincoln made a run, David, in the third quarter. They got down 12-0 early.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just behind the 8 ball the whole game, but they cut it to 35-34 in the third.
Wow.
But,
I did not realize that.
Yeah, East Gaston scored the last 5 points of the third quarter, and then they just dominated the fourth quarter. East Lincoln made 1 basket in the fourth quarter, and that really hurt them. 1 of 14 from the floor was North Lincoln in the fourth. Yeah. They only had 1 field goal. So one person in double figures for North. Ty Sanders had 15 points. Connor Carson was named to the all-tournament squad from North. North has a pretty good team. I tell you who I was impressed with.
The big guy, Kellen Carr, I've seen.
He's going to be.
He's a pitcher. But
yeah.
He's a good pitcher, too, in baseball.
He's if he continues to play basketball, he's got some skills in that department, too. He missed some easy shots in the final, but you can see it. He can handle.
Mm-hmm.
He can get into the lane. What is he, 6'4"? Something like 6'5".
Oh yeah, he's at least 6'5". At least 6'5".
So East Gaston 10-1, North Lincoln 7-3. The other game.
Let me comment on that one real quick.
Go ahead.
Lenny says East Gaston is 10-1 and does play Bessemer City in conference. Bessemer was the preseason favorite, but East Gaston is very good.
East Gaston beat them. They've already played once, and East Gaston beat them. Yeah.
How bad?
By 12.
Wow. That's big.
And I've seen both Shelby and Burns.
And that's 2A beating a 1A.
Yeah. I saw Shelby and Burns play Cherryville.
And you think East Gaston's
better? I think East Gaston's better than both those teams, although they're pretty good, both Shelby and Burns.
And Bessemer City plays Shelby next week.
That'll be a big one in the conference.
Next Wednesday.
And I'm sure Lenny's going to agree with me in the girls' game. Really tough luck for the Lady Rebels. One of their starters, and I understand probably one of their best defenders, Anna Bieberich, is that pronouncing it right?
Anna Bieberich.
First minute of the game, it was a little. She went down in the lane and had to go out, had to get helped off the court, and then later went to the locker room on crutches, I believe, after she got her ankle wrapped. I'm not sure. It looked pretty serious, but I don't know. I don't know whether they're going to do an X-ray or what it is on that. But that was a big loss because Stuart Kramer had this big girl, 6'2", Zion Duncan. And
was she?
Yeah, she was Zion-like. She could
Duncan.
She could score with either hand, and they were able to get the ball into her in the second quarter because creating some mismatches. And she responded. I think she had 6 points in the second quarter. But the big news for Stuart Kramer was this freshman point guard, Oshonda Holland, 20 points to earn MVP honors, and she can really handle the ball. She can distribute. She can get to the rim. Valiant effort by North Lincoln. I mean, by West Lincoln, but they just, offensively, really couldn't get much going. Chloe Norman had 22 points by my count, and
reached 1,000-point mark earlier.
Yep, and she was named to the all-tournament team.
Or last week, actually.
That's right. Problem was she ended up scoring 14 of West Lincoln's 18 second-half points, so she didn't get a lot of help there. But she is really a competitive player. I enjoy watching Chloe play. She plays with a lot of intensity.
A couple things from Lenny. He said it's a high ankle sprain. She'll be out 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's not season-ending.
Yep.
That's great.
And I thought he was telling me about Two Rivers here. There's a place in Boone called Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Hardware, something up there as you get in between Blowing Rock and Boone, Two Rivers something
hardware.
On the side over there. But anyway, the Two Rivers that play at East Gaston are brothers.
I figured they were related, at least.
Yep. I was looking on here at a couple other things. You guys mentioned South Point earlier. They beat Forest. I don't know what Forest is. I'm sure it's an out-of-state
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Yeah, 66-41 last night. So that was a championship game that they won by 25 last night.
I think so.
That's
I'd like to see them play just to see the lineman who's going to Notre Dame.
What have they lost a game yet, Brett? At South Point,
they did lose one.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like Hunter Huss beat him.
Wow. Wow. That's
a conference game too, right?
Yeah. That would be.
I think that's who it was.
So surprising.
I have to look and make sure.
Apex Friendship High beat Watauga last night, 64-62. Just trying to find some.
Yeah, Huss beat him by 10.
Wow. Now that really puzzles me because Huss's record is
they're 5-6,
and South Point, that's their only loss, and they've been thumping people.
Yeah. Well,
rivalry game. You never know, right?
Gaston
rivalry
County.
game. You just never know.
I think Crest is pretty good.
Crest
in that
is pretty
conference.
good.
They've been good for a while. Bull's still coaching.
Yeah. They're 8-2.
Help me with his real name. All I remember is Bull.
Levine.
Brad.
Yeah.
Brad Levine. Yep. Brad Levine. That's
exactly.
Right. Rock Hill beat Kings Mountain 66-58. Olympic, number 10 in all of North Carolina, all classifications, 82-56 over Hillsboro.
Yeah, I think Olympic and North Mech are supposed to be the
two top Charlotte teams.
Public.
Yeah, Olympic
Charlotte
had a great football year. They got beat kind of early in the playoffs, but they were undefeated.
Yeah.
In football when they entered the playoffs. Let's see if there's anybody else you guys can think of that played in tournaments.
Well, I know
Hickory
games. Won theirs on Thursday.
Yeah, they beat Maiden pretty bad.
Yeah.
Maiden's first loss, and it was by about 30 or so.
I think I read Hickory won that tournament 6 straight times.
Is that right?
Oh, and in the Cherryville tournament, Burns 79, Cherryville 52 in the final, boys final. I saw that game.
That big game last night, a lot of people had their eyes on it. People were talking about it, not just Brett to me, but people at the East Lincoln game were talking about it as well. Central Cabarrus defeated Charlotte Catholic 66-62. Central Cabarrus is the 5th-ranked team in the state of North Carolina, regardless of classification. Made it all the way to the West Finals last year, right, Brett? And lost to West Charlotte.
Yeah. I could see it coming down to those two.
Is West Charlotte that good again? They lost some big guys.
They did lose. They lost several starters, including their big guy that went to I think he went to Louisville.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mountain Heritage last night, 50. Crest 46.
Yeah, I've heard Mountain Heritage is good.
Mountain Heritage
50. That's
right.
1A.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
They're 1A right now, and they
knocks
beat Crest
off a
last
3A
night.
Crest team.
50-46.
Dang.
The Bull not too happy about
Oh.
that this morning. West Wilkes beat Allegheny 65-52. West Cabarrus over Nation Ford. That's the South Carolina team, 68-62.
Mountain Heritage 11-1.
Irmo and Butler. See who beat Mountain Heritage?
Inca.
Inca did. Well, they're very good. Inca's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Irmo beat Butler 80-65 last night. Irmo down around the Columbia area in South Carolina. So
Mountain Heritage is number 1 in the 1A West right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it showed. That's
Bishop McGinnis.
Still a nice win
2.
for them to defeat a good Crest, a good 3A Crest team.
One other point, guys, before we leave. The Lincoln boys squeaked by West Lincoln 54-53 to claim third place.
They won 2 out of 3 then.
2 out of 3.
In that after a real
and Bandy's
slow start.
defeated North Lincoln 61-55 for third place in the girls bracket.
It's final show of the year.
It is.
Anything you guys want to say, or this is it. I mean, we won't come back till next year.
Well,
we're going to be off a while.
That's right.
6 days.
2023. Better buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I don't know.
In what way? Sports world or?
Yeah, sports world.
Okay.
I'm just echoing a famous movie line.
I
hope it's not too bumpy.
As much as I don't want to wish,
I want it to be eventful.
Don't want to wish our life away, obviously, but 2024 is going to be better because we're going to have 12 teams in the playoffs.
You want the playoffs to go on forever?
Right? No, not forever.
But I remember somebody
I think
said,
we all agree it ought to be expanded.
Who was it that said, "Boy, I'm glad the football season's finally over in high school"? And he said, "What? Hey, I love it. 17 weeks. Give me more." Right? It is great, particularly this year. What do you think the highlight was? For me, it was East Lincoln's run, of course, to the state.
And in this
football
area,
championship.
yes. Perfect 16-0 season.
Really had a good time following an exceptional ball club there.
And one thing we'll leave you with, Ned says, do you realize that Bull Levine is a Legion baseball umpire? Yes, I absolutely do. I've seen him do.
Okay.
I've seen him do games. I've been at games that he has been calling.
Speaking of Legion Ball, congratulations to Danny Aker for being named to the North Carolina American Legion Baseball
Well
Hall
deserving.
of Fame. Well deserving.
I saw that just a couple days ago. I sure just saw it on Twitter. Thanks to Ned
for
putting that on there. And am I right, Ned? Is the state tournament returning to Campbell?
Yes.
It is going to return to Campbell.
But the junior tournament will be in Cherokee.
Yeah, junior tournament in Cherokee. That's odd that it's going to return to Campbell.
I know.
I will say this. You will not need to take a jacket with you.
Yeah, you know, because you were there for 3 days.
You will not need to take a jacket with you. I can promise you that. Happy New Year for Brett,
Happy
Mike.
New Year.
I'm David. See you next week.